Hello, and welcome to a quick overview of GEAC, the General Education Assessment Committee. I'm Dr. Mike Labossiere, and I'm one of the original members of the committee, which was created in 2004 by Provost Larry Robinson. And this was created in response to the new principles accreditation, which were adopted by the then SACS, Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. SACS was rebranded as SACS COC, the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. They do the same thing, though. GEAC has essentially four primary missions, or charges. The first is to establish and streamline a systematic process for assessing Gen Ed. Secondly, to identify college-level knowledge and competencies for the Gen Ed program that are linked to FAMU's missions and goals and the Florida State accountability systems. Thirdly, to develop an assessment plan for general education program. So GEAC, that's where it comes from. And lastly, monitoring the implementation of the planned Gen Ed assessment activities. In terms of what GEAC does for FAMU, the first thing is this. The committee assesses four competencies within Gen Ed courses, and these competencies are communication, critical thinking, quantitative reasoning, and social and ethical reasoning. Now, this is important for accreditation. We, on the committee, collect data and prepare documentation for this accreditation process. In terms of how we do what we do, we engage in artifact collection and assessment. We have focus groups. We conduct surveys through Qualtrics. There's the Critical Thinking Assessment Test, CAT, and the ETS, the Educational Testing Service Proficiency Profile, and we also do metadata analysis. In terms of how the data looks for our artifact assessment, we collect the data and then present it in terms of the number of artifacts evaluated and the percentage that reach the target performance level, typically competent, and the actual performance level in terms of those that achieved it. And we do assessment like that. In terms of how the example survey results might look, here's an example of a self-assessment where students are asked how they assess their quantitative reasoning skills. An example of the results from the CAT are these in terms of the scores, pretty much a standardized test. ETS, also a standardized test, giving results like these. It's also useful because we can take data from over the course of many years and compare trends, and also compare it to the national average. So a lot of useful data there. We also conduct focus groups. There's a transcript created from the focus groups, and then the transcripts are reviewed to find sort of key comments from the students. Some examples are here. One of our sort of ongoing focuses on the committee is a data improvement plan, essentially to get better data and also make things better for faculty and others involved in this process. And this involves trying to simplify the process as much as possible, to automate the process as much as possible, and of course provide motivation to incentivize faculty to participate willingly. So what can GEAC do for you? First, and very pragmatically, we help maintain FAMU's accreditation, so quite useful. We can also provide data about students and courses that could be useful to you. In terms of what you can do for GEAC, there are primarily 5 things that you can do. The first is to allow GEAC to acquire artifacts and data from your courses on Canvas currently. Secondly, to inform your students about our GEAC surveys and share links with them. Third, provide artifacts to GEAC for analysis. Fourth, to assess artifacts for GEAC. And fifth and finally, to join GEAC. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the future.